Hi, I want to thank the West Side Economic Alliance and Portland General Electric for this opportunity to get to know me. My name is Kate Lieber, and I am running in the Democratic primary for Senate District 14. I'm running to stand strong against the right-wing politics of peddling hate and fear while systematically defunding public services, defrauding voters, and rolling back our environmental laws and protections for working people and our families. With Trump in the White House now more than ever, our state legislatures have become the front line for protecting children, families, seniors, our environment, and quite frankly, the future of our democracy. I could no longer stay on the sidelines. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Indiana, raised by a single mom after my dad died when I was 10. One thing you should know about me is that I was gay in Indiana in the 80s. And I know what it's like to feel powerless and unseen. My feelings of powerlessness led me to law school because I never wanted anyone to feel as powerless as I did ever again. That's where I met my wife. We've been together for 27 years. We moved to Oregon in 1995, and I joined the district attorney's office. That's where I concentrated on fighting for the rights of children and victims of domestic violence. After I left the DA's office, I received what I consider to be one of my battle scars. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer when my children were really young. Yes, it was hard for me, and of course it was hard for them, but I saw our broken healthcare system up close and personal, and I realized no one should be fighting to pay the bills while they're fighting for their life. While battling breast cancer, I got a call from the governor's office. I was asked if I would join the Psychiatric Security Review Board, who has jurisdiction over people in the state under a guilty except for insanity designation. And I saw our broken mental health system as well. This led me to believe that we must tackle our mental health crisis in this state and adequately fund prevention-based mental health treatment. After I rolled off that board, I was interested in the intersection of mental health and homelessness, and motivated by my commitment to fighting for others, I joined Transition Projects, which is a nonprofit that works to solve one of our most pressing crises, homelessness. Currently, I chair their board. But truly, I feel like I've always been a teacher at heart. I started teaching in the criminal justice department at Portland Community College in 1998. I believe a strong public school system is the key to a strong economy and the future of our democracy. We need to focus on quality, access, and advancing racial equity in schools. Education is where we prepare our children for their best future, and access to high-quality public education is key. So why does a teacher want to be a state senator? Well, we know teachers never give up on anyone. I actually consider myself an accidental politician. Really, 2016 happened, and I realized with Trump rolling back all the values we hold dear that I had to do something. But I thought we were good in Oregon. We had a Democratic governor, a Democratic House and Senate. But then 2019 happened, and when the Republicans walked out of the legislature the first time, I realized we were more broken than I thought. So driven by my need to get things done, I decided to jump into the fight. Now more than ever, we need people who will bring people together to get things done. Our legislature needs to think differently and act urgently. One of the reasons that I believe I'm the right person to head off to Salem is my ability to bring people together for a more effective working relationship. Anytime you want to come to agreement, you must start with reasoned conversation and open and frequent dialogue from all stakeholders. We must approach our work by relying on professionalism of our colleagues and doing what we were voted into office to do, which is represent the people. Look, I have strong progressive values, and my approach is one of reason, respect, and service of people. I firmly believe the government can do good, and in these uncertain times, we must do better. Regardless of the behavior and precedents that were set by my future colleagues, I will approach my work in Salem as I have approached my work in my entire career, with determination, thoughtfulness, and a commitment to getting things done. We need to get back to the people, the business of policy, not hyper-partisanship and deeply entrenched warfare. We are all in this together, and we must work together for a better Oregon. So given the global pandemic that we are currently fighting, My priorities for the 2021 session has shifted. We must make sure that Oregon gets back to work safely and that the most vulnerable in our state have the resources they need to get back on their feet. This pandemic did not create the cracks in our system. It's merely highlighted what have been long ignored in our society. And nowhere is that more clear than with the economic and housing insecurity. People have always been a paycheck away from losing their homes. And we now know that many small businesses are only a week or two away from closing their doors forever. What I worry about and what I will work on going into this session is how do we take care of those whose lives have been most impacted by this crisis? And how do we get Oregon working again? We must support small businesses with loans and increased access to capital, and make sure businesses across Oregon can open their doors and get employees back to work. We must also support those who have lost their jobs and are in danger of losing their housing by ensuring that our safety nets are as strong as possible and that working families have what they need to survive the entirety of any possible recession. And we must take public dollars and invest them in our infrastructure to get more Oregonians back to work. Look, I've spent my career fighting for people who don't have people fighting for them. And at my core, I am someone who needs to get things done. I'm a doer. But with this pandemic that has threatened both our physical and fiscal health in countless ways, the stakes are higher for all of us. In these uncertain times, we must increase our economic security and opportunity by fully funding quality public school education. We must reinforce our safety nets for our society by providing reliable access to high quality and affordable health care. At the same time, we need to increase the number of reliable, high quality and affordable child and elder care options. And we must ensure that everyone has a place to call home. Look, I'm ready to go to Salem and do the hard work to get us back on track. That is why I believe I'm the right candidate, and that is why I'm asking for your support in my race for the Oregon State Senate. Thank you so much for your time.